welcome back to my channel. My name is Nora and I am your frugal friend. And today I will be budgeting the paycheck that I will be receiving on November 14th. I use the Baddies and Budget planner, the Intentionally Rich planner. This is good for 12 months. It is undated and I started using it in August. So today we're going to be budgeting my paycheck that will be paid from my 9 to 5 job that gets paid on the 14th. And also, I have some variable income that is being paid this week. So let's talk about it. So, my paycheck from my 9 to 5 job is going to be around 16.95. Sorry, I have to adjust my microphone here. I am receiving a child support payment this week of $183. And I have a small business that I'm anticipating having some income from. I send the invoice out on Saturday, and it's usually paid by Sunday. So I'm anticipating that I will be able to pay myself about $50 from that income, which is lower than it has been in recent weeks, but that's why we call it variable. And I also have a rollover in my checking account of about $50. So the total is going to be, sorry, I hadn't added it up ahead of time, so it's going to be 1978. Okay, so we will move on to my fixed expenses, which includes my subscriptions. So first up, I have the daycare that will be due on November 15th. This is just going to be for 1 week because I did take a week off of work this month, and I get 1 week vacation credit every year with the daycare. So I'm using that for this month. So I don't know exactly what that week comes out to be. I have to ask them to confirm. So I'm just budgeting $350 just to keep it even, but it's probably going to be some left over, but it doesn't matter. I'll apply it to the next month. And then I don't know the dates of everything else. I don't I have them written down somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. So then I have my daughter's cell phone, which is with Bark, and that's about $57. I have storage, and that's $120. My car insurance, I guess that's considered a fixed expense. This is my big kahuna, $301 a month. $301 a month. My T-Mobile bill, they send me a text every month with the total, and I can't remember exactly what it is, so I'm just writing down 155, but I know it's not quite 155, but that's just what I write down to keep everything even if I don't remember it. I also belong to Planet Fitness, and because I have the black card, I pay a little bit more, so it's $28 a month. I belong to the Cinemark Movie Club. That's about $13 a month. This is so worth it for us because we love going to the movies. And just with the discounts and the points that you earn, it's just making going to the movies much more affordable for us. And we have tickets already. We bought them like a month ago to go see Wicked Part 2. We're going on the 22nd, so I'm very excited for that. And I have Spotify Premium. Now, this month is probably going to be $8, but it might end up being $12 plus tax because I got the student rate because I was verified as a graduate student, at my grad school, but now I'm deregistered from the classes that I'm supposed to be in now because there was an issue with the financial aid for the last session. It's a whole mess, and I don't have it figured out yet. I just found all this out yesterday. So Spotify may charge me the student price, they might not, but I can't even call the financial aid office today because they're closed because the day that I'm filming this is Veterans Day. So what can you do? I'm just making sure I got everything here. Okay, my variable expenses is going to be gas. I'm going to do my usual 100, and I'm going to have to add all this up off camera because I didn't know I was going to be getting the child support this week. So I didn't include it in my budgeting. So I guess it's a good problem to have. Laundry is going to be getting $60 because I've been doing $40 and it's not enough. I always take either from my gas or my groceries to get laundry done. So I'm just going to add an extra $20 and see how that goes. Groceries will be getting 200. Fun. So I have a section in my wallet for fun money, which I really need to start adding to that. That's going to get $20. And that's for like, when we go to the movies and they want popcorn or just little things that I don't plan for that, we do on a whim and we don't like, if I scheduled ahead of time, then I'm going to budget it. But, like I don't know, just little things to do on the weekend if we don't, if we come up with something on the fly. I want to be able to have extra money without pulling from gas or laundry or groceries or figuring out, where I'm going to. It's just, I need to start building it up. All that to say, I need to start adding money to fun. All right. So, my debt. I don't have much this paycheck because I do get paid again on the 28th. So, my other big bill will be due that day, actually. Um, $54 to one of my loans and $130 to the other. So I actually have two loans with each of these servicers, but I just combine the amounts because these come out, actually, they both come out on the same, like the Upstart comes out on the same day, and then this one comes out on the same day because I borrowed two times from them. And I borrowed the second time before I paid back the first time because I was not budgeting myself and I was not making good financial decisions. So that's why I'm working so aggressively now to pay off debt. Okay. So let me go back to that child support comment. So I should I should be getting child support weekly. And this number includes the 183 includes an arrears payback amount because he's in arrears quite a high balance. I mean, not terribly high, but high enough to where last year he agreed to a weekly payback amount. Now, whether that weekly amount gets paid or not is yet to be seen. So I just stopped including it in my budget. And if it gets paid, then I do like just a mini stuffing. I'll add it like to my wallet if I need it somewhere. I'll throw it in my daughter's savings account. Like I don't usually include it in my budget. I just saw today on the app that it was dispersed yesterday. So I'll receive it tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. Um, but I'm actually not even going to include this in the budget now because my cat is going to the vet on the 22nd. And that visit, because it's a wellness visit and he's getting blood work done, is going to be like 380 something dollars. Now, I have half of that saved already. And my plan was to save the other half out of this week's pay. But I got a little screwed up because my variable income wasn't as high as I think it's going to be. So anyway, the $183 is what I need for the rest of the vet visit. So I'm just going to take it out, put it in my wallet and in my envelope for my cat and bring it to the vet. I just know that visit's going to be paid for and it's done. if I get another payment next week, which if it's collected and dispersed on Monday, which is it's always billed on a Monday, if it's paid on the Monday, that means I would get it by Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. And if that happens, I'll withdraw it. I'll refill my wallet, whatever I need, if I need anything, and then I'll do like a mini stuffing with it. But I just want to make sure I'm using this 183 wisely because I still need to get to that 382 or whatever the number is for his vet visit, and I cannot put that vet visit off anymore. So that's my long-winded explanation of I don't why I'm not even going to include it. So actually, I can probably give the numbers, but I'll do that later. All right, my sinking funds and savings. So I don't think they're all going to fit on this list. So I'm just going to put, so this is like my automatic transfers. I do every paycheck, I send money to SoFi for my daughter, and that's $25. I send money to a high yield savings account for my coffee order with Nespresso. That's $45. And I send $30 to my emergency fund, which is in my bank account. I don't, um, I had an envelope for it. I stopped using it because I had a little, I don't remember what it was, but I had something where I needed the emergency money, but I didn't have it with me. And so I had to move other money around and I was able to do it, but I was like kicking myself. So after talking to my boyfriend about it, he said, just get the emergency fund, get it in your bank account up to like $1,000 or maybe $2,000, and then start adding it to the envelope. And every time you get to $100 in the envelope, then deposit it, or just keep leaving the automatic transfer on. But he did agree that it's more important to have it in your bank account because I can do an instant transfer from my savings to my checking. I have Capital One 360, and so that money would be moved instantly if I ever was in an emergency. And now I'm thinking like, God forbid I'm driving my car and something breaks down, I need a tow and I need to pay a balance, whatever. I need to have that money. I'm not going to have my sinking fund binder with me. So it just made sense to just keep this in the bank account, and it's sort of like out of sight, out of mind. So I'm going to let that grow. And then I don't know if I ever will go back to using the envelope, but just it is grow. I had a pull from it and now I'm letting it grow again. So that's another rant. I'm so sorry. All right, so the rest of my sinking funds are for birthday. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I need a new arm for my phone holder because it just shakes so much, and I unless I'm on my coffee table, it's just going to shake when I'm writing. But it's not always comfortable to sit on my coffee table. So we have debt, car maintenance, holidays, my pet, vacation. I don't even have to write all these out because they're not all getting something. I changed my mind last night. Beauty, clothing, date night. Oh boy, am I gonna have enough? Date night, school. That's a whole nother story. I'll talk about that another time once I figure out what's going on. Splurge and allowance. So usually what I do is I prioritize these funds here because these are my high priority funds. But with last week's child support payment that I was not expecting, I actually stuffed these. I made a short and I actually stuffed these using that money. So I am going to contribute to debt because I have a challenge. I do want to make sure I'm contributing to this envelope every time I get paid, because this is going to be in addition to my snowball payment. Once I get the envelope up to $500, I'm going to add that to my next whatever debt I'm, working on. So right now it's Amex. So maybe by the time I get the envelope up to $500, my balance will be low enough that it's just going to pay it off. So I am going to contribute to this every time. Birthdays I'm skipping for now. I stuffed that last week. Car maintenance and holidays are getting skipped. Um, my pet, I'm gonna put $9 in. I have a little savings challenge for him too. Vacation, nothing. Beauty is going to get $25 because my daughter and I are due for haircuts. Her more than me. I'm really more concerned about her hair staying trimmed. She has layers and a face frame and all that, so it gets kind of crazy looking if it doesn't get trimmed. And then the rest, I think the rest, one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, the rest are going to get $10 each. And because the worksheet that I used originally to figure this all out is written differently than how this is set up, even though it's from the same creator. I don't have the total. I have the income total. The income total, not including the child support, is actually 1795 because I'm just going to use that to put towards my pet. My variable expenses, let's see, was 380. I changed that a few times too. 360, 80, 380. Maybe I can do this. Fixed expenses is technically 983. And then, oh, maybe I do have it. Debt is 184. Is it 184? Yeah, it is. Oh gosh, can you guys even see? Sorry. And then sinking funds and investments, I wrote 109. No. Sinking funds and savings together would be 209. I think. 209. And then all this is going to equal 0. It should. It should anyway. All right, so now we're going to do the cash breakdown for when I go to the bank. So I'm going to list out the sinking funds one more time with the total amount that I'm doing, and then I'm going to list out my denominations. Okay, so I have my funds and my amounts. So if I'm just tallying up. Tell me what you guys think while I do this, because I'm not going to just repeat everything that I said. So I had like a laminated teller slip. It was double sided and I was using it, but it became very difficult to wipe it off. And I tried everything. Like I only used a dry erase marker on it, so I thought that would be very easy to wipe clean, and it's not. Like it stained it, and I couldn't really use it anymore. So now I'm just bringing in like post-its with like written out what I'm gonna want, but I feel like that's a little embarrassing. I don't know, maybe it's not, but I I have an Etsy shop that has nothing to do with budgeting right now, but I would like to start adding some budgeting items. And I found, oh, I don't know the total. I found a service that was sort of like printed on demand, which is a little bit iffy when you're dealing with Etsy because just if you know, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But because I would design it, it would still be okay to sell on Etsy. It's a whole thing. But anyway, I was thinking about ordering a sample and seeing if I liked them as like to use as teller slips. So they would be like a size of a post-it, but like tear off slips. And there would be, I don't know, 500 of them, I think is the size that you get. And I would design what they look like, so the denominations and all that. And but then they would just be printed on demand if they were sold. And I think the price point is pretty good. I don't want to say what it is, but because I haven't decided if I'm going to do it yet. But what would you guys think? You think that that would be easier? Like, how do you guys get your denominations from the teller? Because my ATMs, they only issue $100 bills, $20, $5, and singles. I can't get tens and fifties from the ATM. So I have to go inside, and there's no drive-through teller at the bank that's closest to me. I don't know about the other ones, but I'm usually in a rush when I go to the bank. So it would just be easier to have like the teller slip it, and they like it too. But I don't know, it's just something that I was thinking about. I don't know if it would, I mean, it's smart for me because I wouldn't have to keep like an inventory of it. And then I'm free to change up the colors and the designs as I get feedback on it. So I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you do? How do you get your breakdowns? Do you go inside the teller? Do you have teller slips? Would you like something that you just tear off, hand it to them, and then you can throw it away? I don't like the idea of just throwing away paper, but I think it's printed on recycled paper. I'm not really sure. But just give me an idea. If I think I'm going to order this sample and then I'll show it in my next one once I have it. But anyway, this is my budget breakdown. And if I do get that child support payment next week, forgive my nails. Uh, if I do get the child support next week, then I'll just do like a mini stuffing. I'll refill my wallet where it might be needed. And then I would go into these funds, these four funds that I skipped, um, and maybe bulk up some of the ones because all these have nothing in it. These are my low priority and they have nothing in it other than allowance. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm really happy to be back. I didn't post anything for a little while. I am going to post an update very soon on my debt because I'm looking at those student loan totals and it ain't cute. And there's been some changes with student loan repayment, and I need to get a plan together. So I'm going to do my debt update probably the week of Thanksgiving because all of my debts will be paid. Most of them will be paid by then anyway. And that's it. So this is your frugal friend over and out.